Hello everyone, here I am Myra Jahangir from University of Sialkot. Today here I am presenting a lecture about selective mutism disorder. So first of all, we need to know that what is selective mutism disorder. It is a severe anxiety disorder which is mostly seen in childs. Those childs who are suffering with these disorders have faced many issues like they are unable to speak in social situations, even that with their classmates or relatives. Here are some symptoms which recognize that a person has selective mutism disorder. The people those are fall in the selective mutism disorder show aggressiveness, nervousness, tense, shy, and withdrawn, rude behaviors, and disinterested towards others. Here are some causes and risk factors. First one is genetic factors. So basically, most children with the condition are genetically predisposed to anxiety disorder. They show signs of severe anxiety, including tantrums and crying, separation anxiety, moodiness, sleep issues, and shyness right from infancy. So, due to this reason, these children have severe inhibition, which make them some prone to anxiety. Forward, another risk factor is negative reinforcement. When a child is caught up in a fearful scenario and is ignored, usually an adult who can be a parent or teacher tries to help in answering the question on the child's behalf. In other words, rescue them. So, basically, rescue behavior reinforces mutism in those children as the child realizes if he or she keep quiet, there are others who will rescue her. Moving on forward, another risk factor is influence of language. A small proportion of children affected by selective mutism do not exhibit timidity or shyness or any signs of social anxiety. Even they are good performance and good attention seekers. So research shows that causes for mutism in these children can be different and they may be just stuck with non-verbal expressions and are not confident. Further, brain studies explains the amygdala senses potential danger by processing signals from the sympathetic nervous system. In a fearful situations, it triggers a series of reactions that help people protect themselves. Children with the disorder perceive settings such as school, birthday parties, and gatherings as fearful scenarios and hence their amygdala senses danger at these situations, thus triggering anxiety. And they won't be able to face with situations and stay mute. Moving on forward, here comes etiology of selective mutism, which is based on theories. So the first theory is psychodynamic theory, which is introduced by Sigmund Freud. He explains in his theory that the concept of unresolved conflict. In the context of selective mutism, the assumption is that the child has an oral or anal fixation and may be maintaining a family secret, displacing anger toward a parent or regressing to a non-verbal stage in his or on her development. The child's selective mutism is viewed as a coping mechanism for dealing with anger and anxiety and represents behavior intending to punish the parents. Can say in least words that it's due to the childhood conflicts and fixations. Another interesting theory is behavior theory, which explains that different explanation of selective mutism based on negatively reinforced learning. The failure to speak is interpreted as a learned strategy for manipulating the environment in response to a variety of social triggers. In this theory, it explains that children with selective mutism appear frozen and inactive due to behavioral inhibition in novel social situations. Moving on forward, here explains about diagnosis of selective mutism according to DSM-5, which explains that selective mutism may begin when parents recognize out of the ordinary behavior, such as a child who chatters at home but consistently refuses to speak in public, such as church or other social situations. An unwillingness to speak may even occur at family gatherings, such as holidays, get together. Otherwise, a teacher may express concern whether the child has been in a classroom for a month or more. Moreover, parents should begin by getting a complete physical exam for the child, including standardized testing and psychoeducational testing. A comprehensive development screening is advised as well as through speech and language evaluation. We can diagnose that a person has selective mutism disorder. Here is differential diagnosis of selective mutism according to DSM-5, which explains about three different disorders which can also diagnose with the existence of selective mutism. And these disorders are communication disorders, autism spectrum disorder, and social anxiety disorder. But it depends upon psychologists that they take history and assess the severity and duration of symptoms and then will give confirmed diagnosis about the actual disorder. Treatment about the selective mutism disorder. The first one is CBT. These strategies involve the identification of anxious thoughts that may contribute the mute behavior and teach the child to identify negative thoughts and coach the children to replace the positive thoughts instead. A host of other therapies may also be introduced and include emotional reinforcement, self esteem, strengthening, and more. So, another treatment is psychodynamic therapy, which is introduced by Sigmund Freud and in children is called individual play therapy. It focuses on the type of conflicts and fixations which occur in childhoods. This therapy is basically expose conflicts and organize them. Last but not least, another treatment is based on behavioral approaches, that is reinforcement. Reinforcement of teachers and others interacted with the child may be challenging to manage. Negative reinforcement should be identified and addressed as early and directly as possible. Self modeling is one approach that involves viewing edited videotapes modeling appropriate behaviors. The child watches himself receive a desired reward for speaking in an audible and clear tone in front of the class. These all are the rewards which helps them child to cope with their issues. Here is a meaningful quote about the selective mutism disorder. If you don't understand my silence, how will you understand my words? Means to say that we should need to observe those who have any type of behavioral changes because already they suffer with internal conflicts. So our active listening approach is might be enough for them satisfaction and they become back on their normal life. At the end guys, I want to say thanks to all of you for watching this video and hope so that all of you gain information from this video. Thanks a lot. Allah Hafiz.